Hi everybody, welcome to my channel. Today I'm going to be giving 9, I think I wrote down on my iPad, 9 tips for living alone. I moved to Portugal last month and I've been living alone for about a month now, a little bit over a month now. This is technically my 3rd time living alone, but the first 2 times it did not go well at all. I was kind of anxious and depressed all the time. I ignored chores a lot. I constantly avoided my house. I constantly tried to go to other places, other people's houses or coffee shops because I didn't like being alone. And I feel like this time, my 3rd time living alone, I've really settled into a routine, and I'm going to give you some tips that I wish that I had the first time that I lived alone and the 2nd time, and what I feel like really worked for me to help me feel at home. The first tip that I have is to have a routine, and I do encourage like having morning routines and night routines and all that, but I mean kind of a day routine. Like you wake up, you have your morning routine, you go to school or work or whatever, you come back. For me, I always make dinner as soon as I get home from work, and then I always do the dishes right after. I have a few hours of me time to work on my homework or to work on my art, and then I go to sleep and I do it over again. I do that 5 times a week, and it really gives me like a pattern. It gives me some routine so I know what it is kind of that I'm supposed to be doing. I didn't struggle too much in the morning, but I did struggle coming back like after work. When I got home, I felt like there was just too much going on. And once I got into the routine of immediately after work, after I get home, I'm starting dinner, and then I'm eating dinner, and then I'm doing the dishes, and then I'm having me time to journal or to watch YouTube, and then I'm going to sleep. I have 5 things that I do in those orders. Like, it's set. That way, when I get home from work, I'm not all over the place. I know what I'm doing. So I would suggest having like a casual routine for your day. It doesn't have to be really specific, but just so you know that what order things are happening in and what is supposed to be going on at that time. My second tip would be to have, if you have a TV or an iPad or any device, I would play some cozy background music because I did not like the silence, and it made like small bumps and noises outside really freak me out, especially living in a new place and living by myself. So I started putting on Animal Crossing in the background. Like I would just go on YouTube and I would search up Animal Crossing and it would just play all night. I still do that. That way there's like a little bit of background noise and it's not just dead quiet. Also, I feel like the quiet kind of like anxiety breeds in the quiet because there's nothing to distract me. So a little bit of ambience. You can put on Lo-Fi Girl sometimes. I know people that put on like documentaries in the background. And I do this a lot while I work, so it's not a concept that's new to me. You can put on Adventure Time, you can put on Phineas and Ferb. Try not to put on something that's going to distract you because you have things to do, but just something to give a little bit of background noise, something that feels a little bit familiar. You can do what works for you. What works for me might not work for you, but just to have something in the background. It can be music as well. Something in the background so that your house is not super quiet. My third tip is gonna be that you have to treat eating like it's sacred, because eating alone is rough, and it was really rough for me before. If I'm living with somebody or if I'm living close to somebody, meals were definitely something that we would go get together. I don't know anybody really here. I know a few people, but I had a lot of friends back where I was from, and we would go pick up dinner, we would get lunch together, and here I don't have that because I moved to a totally new country. So I think that you have to treat your eating time like it's sacred. I think that you should have a routine. For me, it's really sad to be eating alone because I feel like eating is such a community thing. I'm used to eating at a table with people. I'm used to eating in the car with people. I'm used to really being around people when I eat. So every time I eat, I always eat at my table in my kitchen, and I either watch YouTube or I call somebody. So now I don't dread eating alone. because before I was dreading it a little bit. It just made me a little bit anxious. I was trying to avoid it. Now I know that I have somebody to FaceTime or somebody that's talking to me about a subject that I want to learn if I'm watching YouTube. My fourth tip is going to be to decorate your space in a way that feels comfortable to you, because you are going to be spending all your times here. You're going to be spending your weekends here. You're going to be spending any extra time that you have, it's going to be in your house. I think this is important to consider when you're buying a new house, and I'll probably make a different video about that. When you're buying a house in a new place or a new country, you want it to be somewhere that you are comfortable. Nobody else has to be comfortable in your house except for you, because you live here. You have to be here. And you want to make sure that it's a place that makes you feel relaxed and comfy. And sometimes you can't really help the house situation, like you get what you get, but you can definitely make space for things that feel like you. Me personally, I put up a lot of art, and I can't really hang the art on the walls here because these particular walls are made out of cement. So I kind of have my art just like stacked on the floor a little bit. I kind of have them stacked on the floor. I have them stacked on like benches or chairs that I don't use, because I like seeing art, and I brought a lot of art pieces with me from my last house. So it was nice seeing them and being able to recognize them. I also organized all my makeup in a certain way. I have 2 bathrooms, so I picked the bathroom that I was gonna use. I decorated it, I set a candle, and that really made it like feel like home. And I also organized my closet a certain way. I feel like I still need to organizing my living room was difficult, but I took some time. It took a little while to kind of see where I wanted everything to be. I think even now, like, I might change up some stuff a little bit, but my bedroom was the most important part. Getting my makeup, my clothes, like just my general routine, because I feel like I'm in my bedroom a lot. Getting my kitchen set up was also something that took a little bit of time, because you just got to find the right space for everything. But once I felt like I had everything in the spot that it belonged, I felt a lot more at ease. And it's going to take time to do this, but I think that decorating, bringing your own space in, bringing things that you like in, and making it feel like yours is a big helpful. It makes all the difference when you're living alone. My 5th tip is to have emergency snacks in your house. This is for when you don't feel like cooking and you don't feel like going to get food. Especially living in a new place. I don't know a lot of the restaurants around here. I don't know what they're like. Of course, you have like KFCs and your Burger Kings, but having food that's just ready for you on standby, something that you can just reach into the fridge and grab, something that you can reach into the pantry and grab. Getting food during the week or before and planning in advance for when you're going to be tired is good, because nothing's worse than being hungry and alone in your house and not wanting to go get food, not having the energy to go get food, and not having the energy to cook, and now you're hungry and you're stressed and you're alone. That's not a good combination. I don't want you to be there, so keep some snacks ready. Keep snacks ready for yourself. My 7th tip is to create a chores list and to put it somewhere where you can see it. I have not actually fulfilled this tip yet, because I have a chores list in my phone, and I'm planning to print it out, or maybe I'll draw it on like my notebook, but I'm gonna put it somewhere I can see it, and I'm gonna have daily, weekly, and monthly chores. I'm kind of following it a little bit already, and I feel like it's made a difference, because it reminds me what chores, like I don't need to be cleaning my windows every day, but I should probably clean them like once a month. I don't need to be sweeping my yard every day, but maybe once a month. I don't need to be cleaning my bathtub every day, but if I don't do it like every week or so, it's gonna get gross. So just having a timeline of what chores you need to do and when you need to do them. So far, I haven't even implemented it fully, but it's helped me a lot, and I think that it could help you as well. My 7th tip is to have a sleep routine. I don't currently have much of a morning routine. My mornings are a little bit chaotic, but having a sleep routine was important, because it's difficult to sleep alone in a house. Living alone, like, it's the most difficult thing ever. Most of the time I would be able to interact with somebody before I went to bed. Like, we would have dinner together, I'd have dinner with my friends, or they would come over for movie nights, or I'd FaceTime people. Like, I had my social interaction But when I haven't had a lot of social interaction and I go to bed alone and there's nobody that I can call, like nobody in this city that I can call to, like, I don't know,
do something.
And I've watched a lot of horror movies, so I have like a deep fear of a serial killer showing up to my door, which I know is really unlikely, but it's never impossible. And that's what happens when you watch too many crime documentaries. Having a routine at night helped me. I wrote in my notes, like, you can have a stuffed animal, no judgment, honestly, like you can FaceTime somebody, you can have a book that you always read, just something that has you in a place where you're like, okay, when I go to bed, I'm doing this. I'm journaling, I'm reading my book, something to look forward to. That way you're not just in bed panicking, which I may have done once or twice. Tip number 8 is that it's going to be weird at first. It's going to be weird at first, and don't be mad about that because you're gonna be sad. It's gonna be weird, right? Like, you're not gonna be happy with it at first. It's something new. It's an adventure. It can be a rewarding adventure. Like, you have to learn how to be happy with your own company. You have to learn everything new all over again in a new place. And moving to a new country, a new house, new country, like, it's difficult. But if you did this voluntarily, or maybe not voluntarily, if you did this at all, you kind of knew that it was going to be difficult. I knew that it was going to be difficult. Moving to a new house in a new country is not something that's easy. So you just got to give it time. Like, it's going to be weird. My last tip kind of goes hand in hand with this. It's impossible to fail. Like, it's impossible to fail. Yes, you are going to do some things wrong. You're going to buy some food that you don't like, and maybe you're going to throw it away. You're going to buy some furniture that you don't use and you hate. You're gonna buy some pillowcases that feel terrible on your face, but it's okay. Like, you're only going to learn the things that work for you by doing the things that don't work for you. You're gonna find out what works by doing what doesn't work, and you gotta give yourself some time. And we're halfway through December. I'm starting to get my footing. I'm starting to feel like I've kind of got everything in a little bit of a rhythm, and that's with all my routines, and that's having lived alone a first time, a second time, and that having gone wrong. So hopefully these tips have helped you. If you have any other tips, please leave them in the comments. And that's all that I have for you today. I hope you enjoyed this video, and maybe like and subscribe, or don't. I don't want to be desperate. Okay, anyways, that's all I have. Bye.